Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video. In this video we're going to show you how to repair System Error E106 or System Error E105 or E102 errors on a Xbox One X, but also this will work for an Xbox One S as well. So let's get into it.
For your Xbox and PlayStation repairs, visit consoletherapy.com.
So first things first, let me quickly skip to a video showing you the actual system error that you see. So with the Xbox powered on, we can see we have got System Error E106. So let's get that fixed. And there you go, you can clearly see this has got a System Error E106 issue with it. Now usually on these Xbox One X or Xbox One S consoles, 9 times out of 10 that error is caused by one of two things. That's either the actual system NAND or the BIOS on the actual motherboard has become corrupted, or more commonly, and 9 times out of 10, the issue will actually be with the hard drive inside the actual Xbox itself. So generally, when an Xbox boots up, it needs to access the hard drive, pull lots of data off there for its boot sequence, to pull its operating system from the hard drive. It's then got essentially a copy of that on the system BIOS as well, and the two need to talk to each other as part of the boot up. If one of those is corrupt or not working, then you will get the System Error E106 or E105 type errors. As I say, 9 times out of 10, that's because the hard drive's gone bad. You know, the kind of mechanical parts in these Xboxes is the hard drive. A mechanical part, you know, are prone to failure. So certainly in my experience, 9 times out of 10, when you see these system errors, it's the hard drive that's starting to go bad. The hard drive might still spin up, it might still power up fine, it might even still boot. But the problem is if that hard drive's got bad sectors on it, in the partitions where the actual operating system sits, then you're going to get these system errors. So what we're going to do on this one, we're going to swap the hard drive over, and we're going to show you a real quick and easy way how to swap the hard drive over. Now to do that, we obviously need to get inside the Xbox. I will skip through the next steps for doing that because there's plenty of videos out there which show you how to dismantle the Xboxes. But we'll put you on time lapse, and obviously you can slow it down if you want to see it yourselves and how to do that. One thing I've just noticed is this Xbox has already been opened because there's a couple of screws missing. There should be 6 of these long screws, but this one has only got 4. And another area to point out is this ribbon cable here, which connects to the top side here, or bottom side if it's around the other way. This is the connector to the USB port on the front of the Xbox. Be really careful taking this off because there's a small little plastic connector underneath this metal plate that can snap really easily, so just be careful when you're undoing this. Lift up this bottom case, pop that off, and there's usually a couple of screws here. There's one screw there, one screw there. You pop those off, and essentially this RF shield lifts off. There's loads of dust inside this one, and the hard drive is just underneath the optical drive, so you can actually just lift off the optical drive out the way to get to your hard drive. 2 connectors, just undo them, and then out comes the hard drive. Now what we need to do is put in a replacement hard drive, and we need to prepare that on a PC, and I'll just quickly jump across to the PC now and show you how to do that. One thing I forgot to say, you will need a USB to serial ATA adapter to connect the replacement hard drive to your PC. I'll put a link in the description below to an example of this. Essentially, you get your replacement hard drive, connect it into the connector there, and then you can connect the hard drive to your PC using a USB connector like that one. So over on the PC, you connect your new hard drive to your PC using the USB to serial ATA cradle, which I showed you a moment ago. And essentially, when you go into your computer, you probably will have a drive which says something like new volume, like this one here. I've got multiple drives in my PC, so ignore these. You will have one that's got boot on it, but you probably won't have these two. But you will have one that says new volume. And essentially, this is a 1 terabyte drive. It's a brand new drive, and it is completely blank. So what we need to do is run a thing called Disk Manager. So if you click on Start, if you type the word disk, first of all, into your keyboard, it will come up with this utility at the top that says create and format hard disk partitions. So you click on that, and it brings up this Windows utility called Disk Management. And then you'll see a list of physical hard drives in your PC. Now, as I mentioned, I've got 3 drives installed in mine, so yours will probably just have disk 0 and then your new disk that you've installed. Mine comes up as disk 3 because it's the actual 4th disk, so we start at disk 0. Mine's actually the 4th disk drive that I've got installed. And you can tell that by looking at the capacity, so this is the 1 terabyte drive. As I say, yours more than likely will be disk 1 with that kind of capacity as well. Doesn't really matter where it is, just make sure that it is actually the correct drive that you were about to perform this next step on, otherwise you risk deleting all of your data. Finding the new drive that you've just connected, say my one's disk 3, it says new volume, so it's pretty obvious it's the blank drive. What we need to do is just delete the partitions just to make sure that when we connect it into the Xbox sees it as a completely blank drive and it knows it can write data to it. So what we do, we right click, we select delete volume. It gives you a warning saying deleting this volume will erase all data on it. We click yes. So with that partition deleted, there's a couple more bits that we need to do, but we've actually finished with the hard drive now. So we can close disk management. Now what we need to do is download a couple of system files which we need for the Xbox, because we're about to pop in a completely blank hard drive into the Xbox. So the Xbox needs its latest OSU1 file, basically the Xbox operating system file. Now you can get that by going directly to Microsoft itself, or you can come along to the Console Therapy website where we've got this page. I'll put a link in the description. If you scroll down a little bit further, so we need the OSU1 file from Microsoft, and we also need the animation files. First things first, because it takes the longest, come over here to this red button, right click, and then click Save Link As. Save it somewhere where you're going to remember. I'll save mine to the desktop, click Save. If it comes up and says a warning message, that's fine. You can just click on Keep. That's because I'm linking to the Microsoft website. Again, you can go directly to the Microsoft website to download these files. That's fine, but you also need these animation files as well. So we click here, it'll open up a Google download window, and then we basically need these animation files. So we come over here to the download button, click download, and then click download anyway, and that will also download the animation files. So once those 2 files are downloaded, come across to your desktop where you downloaded them to. Now what you need to do is extract this OSU1 file to a USB stick. So let's do that now. So pop in your USB memory stick. You do need one which is at least 8 gig. Find it, again mine here is listed as F. And we want to format it. We need to make sure it's NTFS file system. NTFS is fine. I usually just rename the USB stick volume as OSU1, then click Start, then click OK, and then off it will format. Now what we need to do is copy the files from our zip file which we downloaded, this OSU1, onto the memory stick. So we open that up, select the $system update folder, click on Extract To, and then find your USB memory stick, and then simply click OK. And then it will go along and extract all those files to the USB stick. So with all those files extracted, we can have a quick look at our USB stick, and we can see we've got the $system update folder and all the files underneath it on our OSU1 USB stick. So we need to eject the USB stick now and then go across to our Xbox and install these files onto the hard drive. But then we do need to come back to the PC to look at this animation.zip file. So back over on the PC with our replacement hard drive, what we need to do is just quickly remove the caddy from the old hard drive. Again, someone has definitely been in here. There's normally 4 screws. That literally pops off and the cable just pulls off like so. Get our replacement hard drive, put our cable onto it, and it goes on one way round like so. Okay, and then don't put the caddy back on yet. And the reason is because we need to connect this back up to the PC again in a moment. So connect up your hard drive with the 2 connectors. Just gently rest the hard drive in there, and then we need to power up the Xbox. Right, so let's power on the Xbox. Now this will come up with an error code again, which is expected because this hard drive's got absolutely no data on it whatsoever. There we go, E105. So we need to come over to our controller. We need to select troubleshoot. And we then need to select offline system update. And then what the Xbox is going to do is going to read from the USB stick, that OSU1 file, and it's going to copy it all across to the hard drive. So this takes a few minutes, so let's skip through this. So then after about 10 minutes or so and a few reboots, the Xbox will be booting to the setup screen like this. Right, but we haven't finished yet. What we need to do is power off the Xbox, take the hard drive out again, and then copy over some animation files. Now those animation files, they are essentially the boot sequence that you see when you first turn on your Xbox, which is like the green loading screen. So we need to copy those files across back to the hard drive. So let's go and do that now. So back over on the PC, what we need to do is, once we've connected our Xbox hard drive again via the USB cradle, we need to run Disk Manager again. So again, click on your Start button, type in DISK, and then you need this top option here, Create and Format Hard Disk Partition, just like before. And this time what you'll see is your Xbox drive. Again, just a reminder, mine disk 3, yours will more likely be disk 1. You'll see many partitions on the drive. This has just been created by the Xbox when we reloaded the operating system from the USB stick. Now, what partition we're interested in is this system update partition, because what we need to do is copy a couple of animation files to this partition. But at the minute, the PC cannot read these partitions. So what we need to do is assign it a drive letter. So if we right click on that partition, select Change Drive Letter and Paths, and then simply click Add, and it will assign it a drive letter automatically. The next one available, my one is F, your one might be D, for example, or E. Doesn't really matter, just remember what that one is, then click OK. And then after a few seconds, it will pop up in Explorer with the correct partition displayed on the drive. Now there's 2 folders on here which we are interested in. These 2 folders is where we need to copy the animation file to. So we can minimize that, but what we need to do is go to this boot and animations.zip file. We need to double click to open that up. Now, depending on what model Xbox One you are performing this on will depend on what animation file you need. If you're doing this on an Xbox One Original or FAT, or the Xbox One S, you will need the file which is contained in that folder. But right here today, we are doing this on an Xbox One X. So we need the animation file, which is underneath that folder. So we're going to double click that. And there's this one file here that we just simply need to extract to the A folder and extract to the B folder on that partition. So we click Extract. We go to our System Updates F folder, like so. We click on A, highlight that, click OK, and then it will extract to that, and do exactly the same thing again. Select the B folder and then click OK. Then that is it. We can close all this down. We can take out the hard drive from the PC, and then we need to reassemble the Xbox, and then everything will be working again. Right, so here we are back at the Xbox. So let's get everything put back together again. Now we can now connect the caddy back onto the hard drive. So let's fast forward through these steps, because I'm sure you've seen this 100 times before. I'll replace the missing screws as well. So let's get this Xbox put back together again. Okay, so with everything connected up, let's power it on and see what we get. So we should start to see the boot animation once it starts booting. A few seconds. And there we go, boot animation. And no more E106 error code. So just a real quick video there to show you how to resolve system error codes on the Xbox One X, or as I say, this also works on the Xbox One S and the Xbox One Fat as well. If you have a system error code E100, that is a different error code, and this probably won't resolve it. It's worth a try, but it probably won't resolve it. That normally points to the fact of an issue with the actual DVD drive. But as I say, normal type system error, E106 errors, E105 errors, this will work for it. So thanks very much for watching the video. Really appreciate your view. Please consider giving us a thumbs up. It really does help us out. We'll be posting more and more videos weekly, so please consider subscribing to the channel. It does not cost you a penny, but it really does help us out. Thanks very much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye for now.